that not only will you hear my occasionally, you will hear the expert thoughts and opinions of our experienced agents at Boston Connect Real Estate. Be a part of our roundtable. If you have any questions during the show, please call 781-837-4900. We love to talk real estate. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and wherever you like to listen to podcasts at Talk Real Estate Roundtable. If you would like a one-on-one consultation with me and my team to discuss your real estate needs, you can connect with me at bostonconnect.com or 781-826-8000. Now, sit back, relax.
I detected testing going
Testing
on.
1, 2, 3, 4. I just wanted to say that.
And hello to all our South Shore neighbors. You are listening to Talk Real Estate Roundtable. My name is Melissa Wallace, and I'm joined live and in studio by my co-host tonight, Kristen Howlett.
How are you, Melissa?
I'm doing well.
I feel like we sound really good tonight.
I mean, I hope we sound really good.
Mm-hmm. This evening,
we sound really good every evening. How about that?
Is that a pet peeve of yours, since this is like your baby?
What do you mean? What's a pet peeve?
Well,
when people don't sound good?
Let me finish. No. when somebody does a podcast and they don't sound good.
Oh.
Wait, did you think I said we smell good or we sound good?
Sound.
Yeah, sound good.
We are off to a great start, everybody. But seriously, I think we smell good too.
We do. Well, I actually might not. I ran out of the house this morning, so it's a crapshoot over here. Maybe. Sorry.
Well, now that we've told the whole South Shore that you are not wearing deodorant, you have been on the show with me several times. You're like an honorary co-host at this point.
Kind of.
I feel like you need to be on at least twice a month. I know we have our monthly segment. We highlight a community south of Boston. Next month, so for August, we will be doing Nantucket.
I may be repeating myself, but I feel like I just came up with a memory, my first ever time doing the podcast, and it was downstairs when it was when the podcast was downstairs.
Yeah,
and the look of terror on my face, I'm like a deer in headlights.
You were terrified. You were terrified for the first couple shows, and now it's just like, yeah, I'll do the show. Yeah, I'll do the show. Yeah, not a big deal. Look at you.
Yeah, I couldn't run the equipment, but I could totally do it myself. I could probably talk to myself for 45 minutes.
Well, that's my fear sometimes. My fear is that someone will cancel on me last minute, and I will either have to talk to myself or possibly have my mother call in
and chit-chat.
And chit-chat with her about, God only knows what.
So what are we going to talk about this evening?
Well, hold on. You've joined me several times before, but just in case somebody hasn't caught one of your shows, why don't you reintroduce yourselves to all of our listeners?
Well, my name is Kristen Marie Howlett. I am a full-time realtor at Boston Connect Real Estate right here in lovely Pembroke Center, 19 Mattakesett Street, Pembroke, Mass. 02359. I can be contacted through Facebook, Instagram. I do not do TikTok.
No.
My phone number is 617-448-4896, Kristen at bostonconnect.com. You can always just come in. This summer has been pretty tough because I just dropped my youngest child off at college.
Yes.
Come September, I'm going to have a lot of time on my hands, so I'm going to be here all the time.
I know. We had somebody walk in yesterday. Just walked in and said, "Oh, I'm looking to buy a house."
What?
And
No,
eventually
buy and sell. A double bubble.
A double bubble. We got one of those yesterday. And Nick Flynn of Team Flynn was here, and he was here bright and early, right before 8:00. We had a meeting here, and he went into the conference room and was able to talk to them, and it was great.
Yeah, the rule is whoever's here first, right?
Yeah, they have an appointment tomorrow, so go.
From now on, I'm going to be here at 6 a.m.
Yeah, you'll be here before me. But just like a lot of our shows, we come up with these topics pretty much based off of, the discussions that we have here in office at Boston Connect Real Estate, and also things that are going on in our business. So why don't you update everybody on what's going on in your business and the reason why we're doing this topic tonight?
So tonight, Julia came up with a great topic. Well, she named our topic. and it's on the board. It says, Homeward Bound, Why a Buyer's Agent is Your Key to a Smooth Out-of-State Move. And we are talking about this evening because I currently have 2 out-of-state movers. One I just had a Zoom call with. They are a very sweet, fun, I'm so looking forward to working with them, couple from Florida. They have to sell their house in St. Petersburg, Florida. I shared it on my Facebook today. So if you know anyone that's looking in St. Pete, hit them up. It's absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, I was looking at the photos. It looks beautiful.
Beautiful. They are relocating for work, and I met them at my Grange Park listing and open house.
I didn't know that's where you met them.
So do you remember last year, January, I made a promise to myself that I was going to find one thing and I was going to perfect it and do it really well, and it was open houses.
Yeah.
And a lot of agents don't love doing open houses, but I love it. I do. I feel like it's one of those things that people are coming to you. I will never cold call. I will never door knock. I will never. I would much rather put myself in a position to have people come to me. And so I do some fun things. Once September comes, I have some even more fun things. Funner, more fun.
More fun.
I do little giveaways. I do little, cute little, water bottles with my business card on them. So this sweet couple came through, and they were on the back porch, and then I went out and, handed them a water. And basically they said that they had come up to look at houses, but really more importantly, they were doing it kind of like an interview for real estate agents, and they wanted to hire me. To be their buyer's agent.
I just think that is amazing how, you were just doing your job. I mean, you were hired by your clients to sell their home, and you just love doing open houses, and you love showcasing essentially, the homes that your clients have just been living in and loving themselves, and you learn to love them too. And, I always thought that, I think that you're a great buyer's agent, but I think that you are a fantastic listing agent as well. Just how you present these homes as if you lived in them yourself, and you just love them.
I do get excited.
And I think it transfers over to your open houses too. And people come through, whether they're buyers themselves or they're agents, and they see how excited and loving you are towards, the houses that you put on the market. And it makes them excited, I feel like.
And let's face it, in an industry where we have a lot of people in this industry, the only way that you're going to attract people is by showing them who you are. And I'm sure that there were maybe, 10 people that came through that open house who wouldn't want to work with me. But when you talk with them, that's really what it is making that connection. Because I say all the time, my friend Jen Morrison, she works at Cross Country Mortgage. She told me she's the main reason why I took the real estate course. And we were in Nantucket. We were at Millie's Bar having a drink, and she was like, "You're not too old." And we had this whole discussion, and later we talked about it. But she was saying, "Oh my God, I just lost my train of thought for a moment." It'll come back.
Okay. Well, I just love how that was the one thing that you said out of that conversation is, "You're not too old."
I thought I was way too old.
No.
I'd always wanted to do it, but she was like, no, you can do it. Anyways, her whole thing is, you have to, it's like dating somebody. We're going to date for 30 to 45 days. You're going to answer you go from most times a virtual stranger to all of a sudden we're in a group chat and we're texting each other at 6:00 in the morning. And, it's mutually, we're dating. It's 30 to 45 days. You're going to answer my phone calls. I'm going to answer yours. We're going to be respectful and honest, and we're going to try to find you a house. And at the end of the 45 days, we might break up. And then hopefully 3 to 5 years when you want to sell, maybe we'll start dating again. And it's true. It's a funny analogy, but it's really true.
Yeah. So we're going to be talking about why a buyer's agent is your key to a smooth out-of-state move. So in this case, you do have 2 clients that live out of state currently, and they're trying to move into Massachusetts, correct? So that client you met, working in Massachusetts, you're licensed in Massachusetts, obviously, doing an open house, you're representing the seller, and somebody comes in, they didn't want to move forward with the house that you were representing, but they had a great connection with you and, trust you. So what is it that you are providing to them, for them, or doing for them, being in state and being in the areas that they want to look at?
So it started with a conversation that day, and then we followed up with email about what they're actually looking for. Gave them a few. He is from Massachusetts originally, so is familiar with it. But there was, we've got to find that sweet spot, because where he's going to be working, where she's going to be working, and I think we've kind of honed in on a couple areas. But in the beginning, of course, I was like, well, Hanover, Hingham, Plymouth, Middleborough, like that whole, and we've definitely honed in on where they want to be. So they're in Florida. And I just said, when we look at these houses, what I do, and I do this whether you live 10 minutes down the road or you live in Florida, I'll drive past. Because again, like I just said to them, it's like online dating. We only show our best pictures. And when, you drive by, you might see something that you're like, oh, I don't really want to look at that. So for me to be really the boots on the ground to kind of go through and look at the house and look at, the neighborhood. If privacy is an issue and your neighbors aren't on top of you, maybe that's not going to be the one for you. We can look at listings and matches all day long, but actually looking at it is a totally different beast.
I think number one and most important, step is to create a great relationship with the buyer's agent, somebody that you trust, because you are not going to be there for every single showing. You're not going to be there for every single property. So, this applies to anybody who lives in Massachusetts as well and is looking to move out of the state. We're very connected, so we do know agents in other states. Agents in other states know us as well. So, and that's why we do the networking events. That's why we go to these conferences and we meet all these people, and we do things like Buffini trainings and everything, because you meet people from all around the country. I know you and Sharon both do Clubhouse, and Sharon talks about Clubhouse on our Saturday show, and we do have some agents from around the country that she has met on that app join us on the show. And you just create these relationships with agents across the country where you can refer business to them, and they can refer business to you as well. So, so this show is also for anybody who is thinking about moving into another state. Or possibly country, who knows?
So the couple that I was just talking about, that's a job relocation. The other is another person that I met at an open house.
Wow,
again.
Look at you.
And well, actually, I'm lying. We didn't actually have a true open house because it was a condo, and I was worried about the parking. So we did. I just kind of had accompanied showings from 4 to 7, and she came through. She is a student. She's a smarty. She's from New Jersey. She's a pharmacist, and she is going to Mass College of Pharmacy, Health and Science, and she is going for her PhD in pharmaceutical economics, something.
Wow.
Yeah.
Something that is above my head.
Way above my head. And you can tell she's really sweet. So same situation. She was not interested in that condo, but I set her up. We looked at a couple. She's been up a couple of times. And then the last time that she came up, we fell in love with. I showed you the pictures.
Yeah.
It is so cute.
And very well maintained.
Very well maintained. It is so perfect for her. And she came up with her dad, and he's so cute. She's moving here. Her mom's going to be, they're kind of going to take turns where she won't be by herself. And she's in her mid-20s, I think. But the dad, I said, we're going to have to build you we want to buy all the furniture in the whole condo, because it's so, there's a cute little desk. And the woman's decor is just unbelievable. But, in order for that to work too, we came up, we did as many showings as we could on that Sunday. We wrote the offer. It got accepted. I did the home inspection for her. We scheduled the home inspection the next day. I did the home inspection for her because really, she didn't need to be there. She's going to get a great report. Home inspectors, now they take pictures and they, do a full detailed report.
And you've been to so many that what the red flags are. You know what to look for. You know to follow them around and to know that, just because it says that the doorknob might be a little, rickety, it doesn't mean that the whole entire door needs to be replaced.
Right.
Things like that.
And you know what, Mel? It's the difference was it's a condo.
Yeah.
So it's not like, it's really anything within her condo, within that space. If it were a single family, maybe I would, have her on FaceTime or, I'd be a little bit more detailed with going through the home inspection. But it worked. And you know what? We were able to get it under agreement. And she is pre-approved to Christine Fisk at Harbor One, and Christine's the best of the best. It's a quick timeline. We beat out multiple offers. But same thing, we're working together. She knows nothing about this area. So for her, it's more, and I'm looking, and she had texted me and said, thank you so much. I wouldn't have been able to do this without you. You've gone above and beyond. And my answer to her was, I'm relating to her because I have kids in college.
Yeah.
And I would hope that if they were in her shoes, that somebody would help them as much as, what you get, what you give, really.
Now, submitting your offers, I'm just curious, was that a concern for any of the listing agents that she currently lives out of state?
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope. You know me, I'm a talker, so I always try to set the tone. I had called the agent. They had gone. What happened was, I think I was at Cochise that day, and I got out at 2. They had looked at this condo. It really wasn't on our short list. The other 2 were really ones that we were super excited about. But we were there. They had an open house, and then I was furiously trying to call the listing agent to see if we could get back in. And she was wonderful. She's actually great. And she called me right back. We chatted on the phone. I gave her the whole scenario that she was out of state. She was only going to be here really for that day, and how important it was for us to get back in. And she got us right back in, and she knew. And yeah, it was the seller loved our timeline, loved that, we came in with a really competitive offer, and she was still able to get a home inspection.
Yeah. I mean, I've been seeing more and more, especially, working in the office and seeing a lot of offers come through. I'm seeing, more and more home inspections being back on the table here. But so with going back to your first client, I know you just met with them through Zoom, and sort of just finalized everything that they were really looking for. So what is the next step with them? Because I feel like would they not come up as often as maybe your New Jersey client? Or
So right now their house is on the market. Florida's market's a little bit, it's kind of tempering down a little bit. So it might take them a little bit longer. They're just, there's a butt for every seat. They'll find it. So the plan is to get their house under agreement, but they will be up here beginning of October anyways with some temporary housing. And then their agent will take over down there, and we'll just manifest that they get a good offer. And, it would be nice for them. My wish for them would be that they are able to sell and then come up here and enjoy, renting
the area. Yeah.
And check out restaurants, and then be able to make a really thoughtful decision about where they want to be, because, you don't want to feel pressure of feeling like they have to. So that's good. They've signed a short-term lease, and it sounds like it's going to be a perfect fit.
That's great.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, no matter what the situation is as a buyer, you never want to feel rushed to get into something anyway. So I think
they had sent me a listing that they had looked at. They were here and they drove past it. And it turns out that it is a builder who I have worked with. I helped the sweetest couple sell in Rainham and buy in Middleborough on Cobblestone, which is just a great little. Trish and Nick Flynn, who are also realtors at Boston Connect, had sold a couple in there. And they had nothing but great things to say about this builder and his wife, and they work as a team. And so I was so happy when I saw that listing was through them.
Yeah.
I think it's South Coast Realty. It's Marcus and Tanya. And so right before I got on the Zoom with them, I was able to talk to Tanya. And you know what? That's what it is too. It's relationships, because we had worked together before. So my next question was, what do you have coming up next? Like, do you have anything else coming up? Because, if this doesn't work out timing wise, is there anything else that we could kind of, and sure as anything, they have one that, might be coming up. So that could work out too.
Yeah, and I hope it really does work out. We are live on Facebook and Instagram too. I'm waving so I can see Sue Bollinger, who's a full-time realtor here at Boston Connect Real Estate, is watching. Hi, guys.
Oh, look at all our listeners.
Faith Birmingham, who is also a realtor at Boston Connect Real Estate. She says, hi, ladies. She got a reservation over at Cushing Trails this weekend.
So happy
She
for her.
is on fire.
Yeah.
Fire. I think she has a new listing coming on in the next couple of weeks too, and she just had her listing that she put on last week go under agreement, so congratulations, Faith.
That's so funny because I think we were downstairs for something, and she had just had I think 3 or 4 going on. And when I drove home, I ended up texting her, and I'm like, it is so fun to see you just explode.
Yeah. My mom says, hi, Mel. Hi.
Hi.
Yes.
What about me, Liz?
I know. What about my little sidekick here? Oh, look, Faith again. Hi. Faith is still watching. We love that. Oh, and Michelle Fay is about to walk through the front door. So
she's another one.
She's another full-time realtor here at Boston Connect Real Estate. She's another one that's on fire. But we are live, so be sure to follow us on Facebook and Instagram. We're live on YouTube as well, so follow Boston Connect Real Estate, the McNamara Horton Group, Kristen Howlett, Realtor. What's your handle on? Realtor.
On Instagram now it's Kristen Howlett RE. Because I'm an influencer now too.
You are an influencer now. But you can also join in on the discussion by calling or texting the studio. So Larry is waiting patiently for your call or text. So be sure to dial 781-837-4900 if you want to join our discussion tonight.
Right. Wouldn't that be so fun if somebody called in who has done this?
Moved in or out of state.
Have you ever moved out of state and had to really trust an agent to kind of guide you through?
Yeah.
What was your experience like? Call us.
We want to hear. I want to move gears to navigating the challenges of out-of-state move. So we do have a little agenda here, but what do you think some of the challenges are for anybody moving in or out of the state?
I think if you don't know the area, that would be the number one. You kind of have to give up control. Because you don't have that control, not knowing the market. That was another thing that we just talked about too is, Florida's market and Massachusetts market are two completely different things right now because we're still really busy. Yeah. We're still very competitive. If things, I just said to them, if things are in good condition and they're priced right, they're still going. Yeah. We're finding that things that aren't priced right are the ones that are sitting.
Yeah, they're sitting. I would definitely say, the lack of, detailed knowledge about neighborhoods or school districts, local amenities, something that would matter to them. So, whether it is some sort of religious place that they can go, then that's important to them. If it's a school district, that's important to them. TJ Maxx is important to me. I'd like to know where the TJ Maxx is.
But in Florida, I know Publix is huge in Florida. Like, I would be devastated if I had to leave Publix. So we need to find out. Do we have a Wegmans near here?
Oh, I don't know.
Well, there's one in Westwood, right near.
I don't know the last time I went to Westwood.
So you love Big Y.
I do like Big Y. I think they have great seafood.
I thought you loved Big Y.
Yeah.
You don't? You just said that so nonchalant. Like, I like it. I thought you loved it.
I hope they go across the street since the Stop and Shop across the street from us is closing.
Yeah,
I would love for a Big Y.
We're having a hard time with Stop and Shop across the street closing.
Yeah. But, I would love for them to go across the street. But, yeah, I like Big Y.
What's your favorite supermarket? Market Basket?
No, I haven't been to
Do you go to the one in Hanover?
No.
Oh.
There's too many people. Sorry.
Really?
You're looking at me like you're all depressed. I would say that my favorite, actually, I don't know.
Have you ever shopped at Wegmans?
No.
Oh.
I don't know where Wegmans is.
Wegmans is like University Ave in Westwood. It's an experience. You need to go. You might be a little overwhelmed, but like they have great.
I mean, I love Trader
bakeries.
Joe's, but it's not a supermarket, right?
Yeah, no, we need to make a trip and go
I
to
love
Wegmans.
Trader Joe's, and I love Big Y. And I've had good luck recently at Shaw's, so.
Oh, Shaw's. Mm-hmm.
I guess I just don't have luck at Stop and Shop.
Well, I'm going to say this too. So anyone that's coming from Florida that goes to Publix, I thought Brian and Owen, years ago when Owen was playing travel football, they discovered the steak and cheese subs at Publix. And I thought they were crazy. I'm like, what? Well, they were so right. They make the best. And you go into the Publix supermarket and people are waiting to get the lunches to go to the beach. And their steak and cheese is delicious.
Yeah. I've never been there, so I don't know.
So I'm going to have to help my buyers find a new supermarket. They might not even go to Publix.
Who knows? Yeah. But getting back to some of the, challenges that could be from out of state. And I would say that another challenge would be if they don't have a relationship with a buyer's agent. So somebody might not have, the ability to meet and form a connection with the buyer's agent. What do you think that their first step should be?
Do exactly what they did and go to open houses. And try to find agents that, they did everything right. They needed somebody. And who knows, I never asked how many times they went and, talked to people. But I know in my experience, when I am accompanying my buyers to open houses, we could do better. There's sometimes that you go and people aren't talking. Mm-hmm. The agents, they're not talking. They don't have any information. They can't tell you anything about the house. You know what? I just told you, two open houses. I got 2 buyers from it. And honestly, embrace it.
Yeah.
Don't look at it like, oh gosh, it's, I have to do this open house. They're kind of fun.
I know. Getting back to the beginning of the show, you love open houses and you love doing them. I
do. So I think if you take a trip, if you have to move out of state, take a trip. Now that I'm thinking of it, I had another really sweet couple that moved. They were a referral from one of my OG faves, his mom and dad, and they moved from Florida to Red Brook and Plymouth. Mm-hmm. And it was the same situation. They would come up every couple weekends. We'd go look at houses, but they were living in Florida and they sold their house in Florida and then they bought in. So I kind of have a niche.
Well, so I was on the show with Sharon over the weekend. We were talking about, selling your parents' home, and that's sort of where she's at in her career. Yeah. She's helped. We came up with at least 13 families that she has helped in the past year and a half.
Yeah,
where the parents either went into assisted living or they sadly passed away. So 13 families that she helped. Or
so
13 individuals that she helped. Yeah, that's just sort of where she's at in her career.
She should put that on her bio as like an expert.
Yeah, we'll have to remind her.
Yeah, what would you call that? Because I'm 100% going to put in my bio that I'm a relocation expert. Following up on this podcast,
you can even play on the word because you help people relocate into another home no matter where they're moving to.
Well, just like I am the president of the forms committee.
Yeah,
self-proclaimed. I am now.
Now we have another forms committee, so you can just say the next meeting that we have that you're the president.
Well,
Madam President.
I have self-proclaimed. I was the director of community service too.
Yeah,
that was a couple of years ago. But
I think I'm gonna put you back in charge of that.
I might. And but now I'm serious. Now that I think of it, I have done this probably 6 times now. Yeah. So I really am. I'm an expert.
You are an expert. But you're also an expert in open houses, and I'm proud of you. That was your goal last year.
Thank you.
That was your goal.
It was. And you know what's really cool is I never was into like tracking my stats and doing all those things. But when you think I work by referral, every single one of my people are somebody that want to work with me. They've either been referred by a past client, they've been referred by somebody else, they've been referred by a preferred lender, or there's somebody that came into my open house who chose to work with me.
Yeah.
And that's a good feeling. But when you see, it is really cool. When you see, I have a little pie chart and it shows, and I want my conversion from my open houses to be enormous. A big piece of the pie.
And I think you will. Another thing that could come up is, time zone differences. So, if you're moving from across the country,
I never thought of that.
Whether, or even, I don't know, what are other states that are like closer than California that have a different time zone?
Central Standard Time.
Yeah.
Like, sorry, Colorado.
I need you to talk for a minute because I have to go in the other room and like clear my throat.
Sure.
I have a tickle.
I'm trying to think of what other. So how a buyer's agent could help is doing, like we talked about earlier, Mel and I, virtual tours, remote showings. We live in an age where you can bring your phone and do FaceTime, or you can literally bring somebody with you and you could tour the home and point out things, and a buyer's agent can arrange and conduct virtual tours or video walkthroughs of properties, allowing buyers to explore homes and neighborhoods without being actually physically present. Local market expertise. An agent can provide in-depth knowledge of local market conditions, including property values, neighborhood trends, and community resources, helping buyers make informed decisions despite the geographical distance. And that's a big thing too. I'm not sure that I could be a self-proclaimed relocation expert if I didn't know the area where these people, like, let's face it, I can't really, if somebody wants to move to Sturbridge,
Yeah.
it's not going to work. But I can do it if it's in my backyard, like Bridgewater, Rainham, Plymouth, Middleborough, like anything on the South Shore. You know what I mean?
Down the Cape even?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you really do need to be maybe not an expert in the community, but know enough about the community and really listen to your buyers about what's important to them. Like for them, it's more, they want to be in a central location where he can be 30 minutes to work and she can be 30 minutes to work.
I'm back from my coughing fit, but
Okay.
Did you talk about how buyer's agents help?
I just thought of something one time. My friend Ellen,
Yeah.
and she was looking. We were looking at houses down in Sandwich. We ended up stopping at this glass blowing.
Mm-hmm.
Sandwich is known for that. Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
It's so years ago when the kids were little, we went and we got glasses made. But anyways, Ellen and I were down looking at houses, and she had been sick, and she had such a coughing fit in the car that I thought that I was going to have to take her to the hospital.
Oh, and that's what made you think? That's what you thought of when I was coughing?
Yes, scary. I don't like that.
I don't know. I've had this tickle like for the past week. No other symptoms. I just have a little tickle.
Allergies, you think?
Yeah, probably. I had to apologize to all of our listeners on Saturday before, like, as soon as the show started. I said, I'm a little nasally. I have a little tickle in my throat.
Yeah, you definitely. It's got to be sinuses.
Yeah.
Have you done honey? You need to.
I'm going to have a cup of tea tonight with honey.
You should do local honey.
I do.
Oh, you do? Do you take it daily?
Not every day. I'm not good with it.
Okay.
Last night I did take some cough medicine, but it didn't do anything. I was still up all night. But, okay, getting back to how a buyer's agent helps, so virtual tours and remote showings, wanted to go over that a little bit.
Yep. Oh, I already did that.
Oh, you did?
Yep.
Well, that's what I asked you about when I was away on vacation on my coughing fit.
Local market expertise. We talked about that.
Okay.
Now, we didn't talk about negotiations and transactions. Detail, well, and that would kind of fall within, like I said, the home inspection. Detail how do agents handle negotiations and transactions on behalf of the buyer, including making offers and handling paperwork, noticing things, like I said, the home inspection, being there for the home inspection, being the boots on the ground.
I think it's important also to say that, it's it's also working together with these parts too. So you are physically there, but having that open communication about what the offer will look like, because you're not putting in the offer for yourself. You know, you are putting in the offer for your client that just happens to be out of state. So, you know, even yesterday when we were talking with our forms committee, you know, a couple people were saying, you know, my client just said, you know, what should I offer? Just put whatever down. And that's just not how it works. And our clients our agents had to say, well, you know, that's not how it works. You have to tell me like what you're willing to pay for. I'm giving you all the numbers of what it would look like if X, Y, and Z. But at the end of the day, this is your purchase. So you have to come up with a number. So it's having that open and honest conversation with your client, with their lender as well, and having a great relationship there.
Yeah. And even more importantly, you just made me think of something that, you know, we always talk about our trusted network and our trusted professionals. I need to, if you're trusting somebody to do an out-of-state transaction, you need a good home inspector, you need a good lender, you need a good, so with my student client, I recommended a lender. I recommended the home inspector. I recommended, you know, we have the attorney that we work with. And I did get a compliment because she's like, everyone that you have told me to work with or recommended so far has been fantastic. Christine has a great insurance person, so that's our next step. She has to get her insurance. And and you know, some things, one little minor thing did come up on the home inspection with she's going to need an electrician, and I have a fabulous electrician for her.
Oh yeah, I have an electrician too.
You do?
That we use. Yeah, he did all the work at my house.
Yeah. Well,
he's you know done a lot of work actually for Sharon and Mary's clients recently.
excellent.
Yeah, and he lives right down the street.
Well, I'm going to use Dan Milso, but
Okay.
yeah,
Well, I'm just saying.
thanks for the backup.
I got a guy. Well, Sharon and I actually are going to be doing a show in the next couple of weeks. Talking, we've done it in the past too. I got a guy, I got a woman, I got a whatever.
Yeah.
You know, and we're gonna say, you know, if you're looking for an electrician, if you're looking for a plumber, if you're looking for, you know, these types of things, we have somebody. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna ask the questions first before, like, well before the show and during the show, and people can call in or text us or whatever and say, do you have a plumber? And and on air we'll say, yes, we do. And if anybody trips us up and we don't have somebody, we're giving them a gift card.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, because we feel as though we have enough people in our back pockets to answer all of the, do you have somebody who does this? And if anybody, you know,
I love that. I'm going to trip you up.
Yeah. What are you going to do?
I'm not going to tell you because then that.
Do you have an irrigation person? Do you have a pool person? Do you have a this? Do you have a that? Somebody who does chimneys, all these things.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. And if anybody asks a question, we're like, oh.
No, we don't.
We could revert back to just, yes, we have Mark McNamara. But we won't cheat. We won't cheat. I promise.
Do you have someone who can extract bats?
Yes, actually, yes, because I remember going to a property with Sharon, and the client had bats in the attic, and
Bats in the belfry?
What's that?
I don't know. It's a saying. I don't.
And that led us to looking for somebody who takes care of bats in homes or wherever, and that's how we got that guy.
There is someone called the Bat Guys. I did have them come years ago. We had an issue, and it turned out that it was we had flying squirrels, and we had them taken care of. But when this initial person came,
squirrels?
I almost fell over at how much it was going to be.
Oh, really?
We did. We had flying squirrels. They're super cute, but they're like destructive.
Oh, really?
They would run along the back of our gutters, like the gutters that ran along the house. Yeah, would run like making so much noise.
This is a sidebar, but Sunday, I got up and I'm doing some laundry and cleaning and all this stuff, and all of a sudden I hear this screaming outside, screaming. And I'm like, what is that? I looked across the street, and there was a turkey, a mama turkey, and her two babies, and that she was announcing that she was going to be walking across the street, and everybody needs to halt.
Can I tell you the turkey babies right now? I have a video on my phone right now that one of them ran, and they are the cutest things I've ever seen in my life.
I mean, they're cute, but they're not. I mean, have you seen the turkey? Have you actually looked at a turkey? I mean, they're not that cute, but we have a lot of turkeys in my neighborhood, and it's a thing where we're like, oh yeah, they're at Bob's house now, and they're, they sort of just have this pattern of what they do. But there's this one mama turkey and her two babies, and they love my backyard, and they love the guy across the street. They love his yard. So Sunday morning, it was just screeching, and I was like, what is that? I looked across, and there she was, just standing there.
How many babies
screaming.
did she have?
She had two.
Oh, two.
Yeah, she had two. And she's just
Because
screaming, letting everybody know.
me?
Oh my gosh, that is
cute.
so
I wish I
stinking
could show
cute.
this.
Yeah.
I wish you could see this.
You should share that. Yeah, she was screaming. She was like, hello, everybody better stop. But you know what? Everybody was going so fast, and I don't think anyone saw her. So they stayed. They stayed on. She just turned around with her babies, and they just started eating, stuff out of the grass. But it was very sweet.
This mama had about 10 babies. Yeah, look
Wow.
at there. See all of them?
Wow, that's
Yeah,
insane.
so cute.
Yeah. All right, we only have about 5 minutes left now that we've talked about turkeys for the past few minutes.
I have to share something really funny before
go
I
ahead.
I did tell my family, I said, what's for dinner tonight? Because Melissa did invite me because Melissa's boyfriend Ethan makes the best chicken cutlets.
He does make the best chicken cutlets.
It is not even normal how good they are. And Jake just texted me and said, "Bring me home a cutlet, bro."
You can bring him home a cutlet if you want.
Ethan's chicken cutlets are
the best.
World's best.
The world's best. And we're letting everybody know.
So see, you learned about Homeward Bound, why a buyer's agent is your key to a smooth out-of-state move, and that Ethan makes the best chicken parms. Chicken cutlets.
Yeah, chicken cutlets. You can make it into chicken parm. You can have it with a sauce. You can do whatever you want.
The beauty of us is we just like them plain old.
Yeah. We just like them plain
We
old.
both like them plain old.
I dip it in ketchup.
I dip mine in honey mustard.
Yeah. All right, so 4 minutes left. What are some of the final thoughts for this topic and why we wanted to do this topic tonight? And then you can give your contact information out again.
If you are thinking of let's face it. If you are, you might not even be thinking of it. You might be forced to have to do an out-of-state move, and maybe your job is relocating, or you're a new student, or you just are sick of the winter or the summer or whatever, and you're getting out. Do some research. Find a good agent. Find somebody that is going to, because I will say, somebody that I know that just recently sold their house and was building a house in South Carolina did hook up with an agent, and it was not a good situation.
Really?
And it wasn't until she was kind of deep in that she was like, I'm not doing this. And same situation. She met somebody at an open house. They instantly connected, and it was a much better fit. Find the right person. Don't just go. You have to trust the person. You have to know that they will pick up the phone and answer your phone call and, make you feel at ease, because moving is a big deal.
Yeah.
Moving out of state is an even bigger deal.
Yeah.
So it's exciting, but you need somebody who is going to help you and really guide you through the process.
And if they want you to help them and guide them through the process, how can they get in touch with you?
Well, right. You could always go with a mediocre relocation agent. But if you want an absolute top-notch professional expert, call me. 617-448-4896, 617-448-4896, Kristen at bostonconnect.com, Facebook, Instagram, you name it.
Yeah, you can always go to bostonconnect.com, find all of our contact information there. You can go to talkrealestateroundtable.com and listen to any of our past shows. You can go to your podcast app and type in Talk Real Estate Roundtable as well. And because we're so great, you can also just type in our names and it'll pop up too.
Pops right up.
But yes, Sharon and I are actually going to replay a show on Saturday. We are both taking a mental health day and just having some time off. So we are going to be replaying. So if you didn't catch our show last Saturday, we're replaying that. So be sure to tune in at 8 a.m. on Saturday for that show with Sharon McNamara.
I want to share before we head off. I have a great. I just got a listing contract signed for a great house. Maybe we don't have enough time.
Yeah, we don't have enough time. Sorry. But go to bostonconnect.com and find her contact information, and she'll tell you all about that house.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Okay. Bye, everyone. Thanks for listening.
Bye.